Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. As this is the first year of the 2018 new year, it's kind of been a reflective show as well as an outlook show. With that in mind, I have Kim Carson here from the Summit County Council to talk about kind of the 2018 outlook for the Summit County. How's it going?
Great. How are you?
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
Very nice meeting you, by the way, as well.
You too. I appreciate you having me.
Of course, absolutely. So what's on the big agenda for the council this year? What do you guys have in your sights?
Well, you know, I'll take a little step back and go to last year.
Do some reflection. Absolutely. Okay.
What we had 2 new council members,
okay.
So that always, you know, you have orientation for them and making sure they're up to speed on all the projects that you're working on. And we took the time to review our strategic initiatives, and we decided to add a 5th one. And we really wanted to keep it to 4. You know, our county manager, Tom Fisher, I think would have loved it if we would have kept it at 3. It's like, you know, we have too many things we're working on. So we added the mental wellness component, and we're really supportive of the work that the Summit County Health Department's been doing and the area of mental health and wellness.
Which I think is just absolutely, I think it's fantastic that you guys have taken that as a big on-board site and goal for you guys, because it is very important. And it makes me happy that we as a county and as a city have been talking more and more about mental wellness and health, and I think it's a good thing that we're taking the right steps to not only provide the help for people that need it, but also, you know, show people that it is there, because a lot of people don't realize, I think, that the help is there.
That's right. A huge component of it is just awareness and educating the community on what is available. I know the health department's had a hard time determining just what's available. They have one committee that's worked just on that, collecting all the information on all the available services and then trying to put that in a format or some manner of getting that out to people.
Communicable way for people to understand that there are. So,
and of course it'll be multiple ways.
Absolutely.
You know, since people access information in different ways.
So as the council, is that kind of your guys' plan, is to kind of help with that dissemination of information to the public?
You know, we will try to do that any opportunity that we have, but there will be, you know, a plan created through the Summit County Mental Wellness Alliance that will be working on a very specific strategic communications plan.
Well, that sounds
for that.
fantastic.
And the county did provide funding during our 2018 budget process. They had quite a wish list of things that they needed to try to kick off several different aspects of the mental wellness work that they're doing, and so we did fund about $140,000 on top of the regular, of course, budget items that help support this within the health department budget.
Which helps extremely. They can use all the funding that they can get because
they
need to help as many people as possible.
It's been interesting. One thing that has come out of this is some of the work that's been done countywide, and really bringing, you know, I think people in North Summit really didn't feel like they had issues up there, but once they started getting into the schools, especially the high schools, and really talking to kids, you know, kids are feeling incredibly stressed, and there's a high level of anxiety and reported depression.
I think that's a misconception with coming and living in Park City.
Right.
It's, hey, you live in this beautiful place. How could you ever be sad or depressed?
Even in North and South, I mean, the entire county is an incredible place with really supportive communities, but sometimes, you know, stress gets to our kids too. We're human. We are. So part of that funding will go to support a provider that'll be specifically allocated to the north and south part of the county.
So to really help those communities that are up there. And speaking on the 4 other initiatives that you guys had as well, can we talk a little bit about those as well?
Sure. In sustainability, we set some goals last year, and that was under renewables, to have 100% renewables by 2032.
Wow, which I think is a fantastic goal.
It is.
The county will be leading the country at that point.
We were one of the first counties, we were the first county in Utah to set goals such as this, and we want to help support other counties and, you know, you can do it.
Yes, yeah, just showing if we can do it, you can do it as well.
You know, but saying we're going to do it and actually doing it is, you know, those are 2 very different things. So we're going to be working on adding more solar panels to some of our buildings, and, you know, looking at the buildings and how can we help retrofit in order to, you know, reduce energy costs.
And all the steps taken toward
Yes.
to get us to be the most sustainable community we can be. And moving
We're
along is
also working with Rocky Mountain Power very closely to look at renewable,
Oh, very
specifically electricity.
Very nice.
And we're working on that also with Park City.
to get that implemented countywide.
Right, to
Wow.
find, just working on how can they help supply us with renewable electricity
Fantastic.
sources.
Fantastic.
So,
And then also another one was affordable housing. I know that's a
Right.
big issue right now.
it is, and we're in the process of finishing a study, because before we know what we need, or
You need to
before we know
understand.
what to actually start building, we need to understand really where we are. And, so we hope in the first quarter to really be able to define that better. And then we've had, some success. We've just approved the Canyons development, an amendment to their agreement. And within that, they'll have workforce housing, which I think will be
It's
a huge help.
Huge help.
And that's not just for the Park City Mountain Resort, but it also is for, all the development in the Canyons area at the bottom. So all those businesses
All the
will be
businesses
able
included as well.
to utilize that. So that's, was a big undertaking, and trying to figure out what that requirement should be. And the Canyons, they've got some different management groups there, but they've been very supportive of the process, and they want to get it done.
And help you.
So that's
get
great.
there.
And then we have the Silver Creek Village, which is a new development that will be east of 40.
Okay.
And that was approved. It had the original approvals back in the late 1990s. And then we've refined that and approved the actual development agreement, which has a requirement for workforce housing. So Mountain Lands Community Housing Trust is working on ways for them to be able to meet their affordable housing goals.
Very nice.
And then when the Whole Foods opened, there were about 20 units that were built on top of those storefronts that are part of that
Affordable.
Canyon Corners development, or Corner Canyon.
Corner Canyon,
Yeah.
Corner Canyon development.
Corner Canyon development.
Well, excellent. Wow.
So that's ongoing. And then transportation and transit.
Obviously, that's a big one with Sundance coming up. That's going to
Well,
be.
it will, and I think that'll be something this community, when you have 2 roads in and out of Park City and one major artery that comes through the heart of the Snyderville Basin, you're always going to be looking at ways to manage traffic. And, the key is getting people out of their cars. And as part of the sales taxes that we, approved last year, for part of that transportation tax, we've worked with Park City in implementing a number of things, including the electric buses, the express route, and people seem to be using that increibly.
Absolutely. It's been a huge benefit to the city to have those, and it has helped a ton
And the
kind of clear up a
county.
little bit. And the county as well, pardon me. But not just the city, but the county as a whole. And I think going back to the sales tax that you said, kind of speaking on, we spoke before we got to talk now about the municipal bond or the trust, the municipal.
The grant program.
The grant program.
Yes.
The grant. And I think that's fantastic.
The 1/4% sales tax was countywide, and we thought, how can we really provide something for those on the east side of the county that may not have the same traffic and transit related issues that we have over here on this side of the county. So we started a small municipality grant program, and that's funded initially at $250,000 a year, which may not sound like a lot when you're talking about over $4 million in total sales tax collected. But for those municipalities to have that source of about $50,000 a year is huge. They just don't have access to resources like that.
So hard for them to get the capital to do the things that
for their road improvements that they need. So we were really excited to be able to implement that.
Well, that's fantastic. It sounds like huge changes, big changes coming, and it sounds like some big steps in the right direction for not just the county, but cities as a whole. And so I'm really excited to see what 2018 brings and all of these initiatives and how they develop and play out in the future. I'm really excited to see that. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And
thanks for having
informing
us.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. It's very, very nice meeting you. I look
Nice
forward
to
to
meet
seeing you
you.
next time.
Okay,
Absolutely.
take care.
It's been a great day today on the show. A great way to start the 2018 year. I've been awesome to be with Terry, and we will see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. on the Mountain Morning Show.